Hi everyone, I'm Survi, an expert on Google Analytics for Firebase from Firebase Developer Support. And today I'm going to talk about the fundamentals of Google Analytics for Firebase from an app developer's perspective. And maybe I'll be able to answer the questions that you have on Firebase Analytics or some part of Firebase if you have questions on that. So, okay, now to start with, I'm going to talk about analytics, the fundamentals. So it's basically adding analytics in your application is the fundamental step towards enabling a powerful tool. But interpreting these reports and implementing them in a meaningful way can be hard. So to utilize the analytics reports in a more productive way, today I'm going to focus on some key points, such as what is Google Analytics for Firebase, how easy it is to be installed in an application, what kind of automatic reports are collected through it, and how quickly custom reports can be generated with the help of a demo project. So basically, Google Analytics for Firebase is an unlimited analytics solution which measures the performance of your application. So what it does is that it collects, stores, and organizes your app's data. So that includes new or retained users, or revenue metrics, or features that are in demand in your application. And once this data is captured, it provides you with the capability to spot trends and identify patterns. And this can help you in taking appropriate actions for your app's marketing and performance optimization. So to get started, you basically need to add Analytics SDK in your application. This is fairly simple with a set of steps that are mentioned here. So this can be done through Firebase console. So first, you need to create a project, register your application with Firebase, add a configuration file, add Analytics SDK to your application, and then you're just left with declaring Analytics object and initializing it. And if you're an Android developer and you are creating an Android application and using Android Studio, then you can simply use Firebase Assistant, a plugin, which can carry out most of the installation steps by itself for you. Now, let's talk about some automatically collected reports that are collected through Analytics. So once you have added the SDK in your application, you can view automatic reports collected by Analytics without implementing any extra code. These automatic reports include user engagement. This provides you insight into how many users use your application in a day, week, or a month, and their daily interaction with other different components in your application. So the next is the retention cohorts. This provides information on the set of users who started using your application at the same time and illustrates how well these were retained over a period of time. The next are the revenue reports. So this displays how much money your app is making. So it captures the in-app purchases made by the users in your application. And this data is obtained through the integration of Analytics with other tools, such as Google Play and AdMob. The next one is the demographics, which lets you dive into the distribution of users based on gender and age. These reports are also include information on location or countries with huge user base, the device model, OS breakdown structure, and the general interest of these users. Now, aside from these reports, Analytics also provide features such as Debug View and real time. So Debug View enables you to view the raw event data recorded by your app on development devices in real time. It becomes useful for validation purposes during the instrumentation phase of development and can help you discover errors or any mistakes in your analytics implementation. It can help you confirm if your analytics data is logged properly, such as events and user properties. And here in the screenshot, you can see the debug devices, the timeline or the minute stream, and the analytics metrics that is captured, that are the events and the user properties. And these are made available instantly if you have some commands enabled in your implementation. So now, what is real time? So real-time gives you a live view of events as they're collected in analytics. These reports are optimized to give you a deeper understanding of who is using your app and what they are doing in real time. The default view here is a geographical view of users whose devices have logged an event in last 30 minutes. It contains an option such as select users or events to see the metrics related to app users and top events who have been active in the past 30 minutes. So here I've been talking about events a lot. So now let's see what events are. So analytics also logs events, which provides an insight into what is happening in your application, such as the user actions, system events, or errors. So some of these events can be logged by default. So there is no need for you to write a code for it. So these are known as the default events or automatically collected events. Now these events can also be converted into conversions, which provides you additional details on sources through which these events were triggered, such as the campaigns or other ad networks. And if you need to collect additional data, then you can create custom events. So I'm going to proceed with our demo to see how these events can be implemented. And this will be done with the help of a demo project that I've created. So I'm an Android developer. And so here I have created an Android application, which is a simple one, which I call as the spaceship game. The game starts when you click on the play button. And here is a spaceship that is moving along the y-axis. When it hits a charge or a battery, the score is increased by 50 or 100 points. And when it hits an alien ship, it loses one of its life. When the spaceship hits the alien ship 3 times, it loses all its lives and the game is over. Once the game is over, you will be able to see the total score and an option to play again or quit. So with that, I'm going to create some custom events. So I'll add some custom events on the play button and when the game starts. So as I've mentioned previously that we need to add Firebase SDK in our application. So I've already included Google Analytics for Firebase in my application and also created an instance of Firebase Analytics. Now I will locate the on-click listener for the button to add the event that is triggered when I click the play button. So here I add a bundle to add parameter and use Firebase Analytics instance to log an event. Similarly, I will log an event when the game starts. So in the main activity on the game start, I'll add the game start event. For simplicity, I'm not adding any parameter for these values, which we'll see what it is used for in the next demo. So now let's move to the game and the debug view, which lets us validate the log data instantly. So as soon as I click on the play button, I'm able to see the play event and the game start event. Now here we also see some automatically collected events, such as the screen view and the user engagement. So these depicts the engagement of users with the application, and this is all out of the box with no configuration required. So now I also want to know, as a developer, I want to know how many games the users are playing and how high they are scoring. So I'll add simple events and custom properties that can help you visualize how you can do it in your code as well. So let's go ahead. So to provide a context about user properties, so user properties are attributes that you define to describe a segment of your user base. So here I'm creating a user property, score 50, if the score of the user is more than 50, and passing it with an actual score of the user. Now, I log an event, score 100, if the user scores more than 100 with a parameter, and score value to record the score of the user. And now let's restart the application and play the game, scoring more than 150 to log the events and the user property. So again, here I have to play the game to score more than 50 and 100 for the user property and the event to get logged. Meanwhile, in the debug view, we can see the timeline that I talked about previously, the top events, user properties that are active right now, and automatically logged events such as screen view and user engagement. Now here, when we are done with the game, when we have scored more than 150, you can see the user property score 50 with the score value, and event that is score 100. The score value, the score is recorded with score 50. This is 350. And here is the event with the score value. This is the parameter that I passed, and this is the value 350 along with it. Okay, so this is how easy it is to view and validate your metrics. So please note that it usually takes up to 24 hours to display the analytics data in the console initially after the Firebase SDK is installed. And there is a 3 or 4 hours delay for the succeeding data, which is because of the latency or server to console latency or console to server latency. So but you can always view this data, this metrics in the debug view, which allows you to see the raw event data logged in your app through the development devices in the near real time. So here we are at the end of our presentation. So let me provide you with a glimpse of what we learned today. So after you integrate Firebase SDK in your application, the basic usage data is collected automatically in Google Analytics for Firebase. You don't need to add any extra code to enable automatically collected events. And this lets you see how much time the users have spent on your application, how many users were active during a certain period of time, and how often in-app purchases are made in your application. So I hope that this would have helped you in learning more about Google Analytics for Firebase, and will encourage you to use this free product. As Laura mentioned, from the range of free products, you can use this free product as well to optimize your application. So yeah, thank you so much. And please let me know if you have any questions so that I can help you out with those. So I can see one of the questions, how easy is it to create funnels with analytics? So yeah, it is easy to create funnels, but right now the funnels that are available in analytics are open funnels, and but Google, if you have an integration with Google Analytics 4, then it provides you the capability to directly create closed funnels, and you have accessibility to so many reports through Google Analytics or Firebase Google Analytics 4 with that integration. So and that's just clicks away. With the integration tab, you can just click. You can get information and analysis about the reports and all. So for creating funnels, you can do it in Google Analytics or Firebase, but I would recommend an integration with Google Analytics 4 for the funnel creation. That will be more helpful. And there are 2 questions. Is it possible for developers to collect data through analytics, but only after user provides a consent for collection? Yes, that is a good question. So most of the people are concerned about the privacy policies. So yeah, it is possible for Firebase to temporarily disable the collection of data for users. So to accomplish this, Firebase provides an option to temporarily disable analytics data and enable it only once it is received consent from the users or some user action is complete. So so because of the new privacy policies that have been introduced by Apple and being introduced by different platforms, so this feature is available where you can disable analytics in your application. And is there anywhere to see the unsampled analytics data? Yes, it is. So basically, right now, the, analytics doesn't provide any APIs to view the data, but you can link with BigQuery, and which is basically a fully managed serverless data warehouse. And this linking can help you access the unsampled analytics data from your application. Okay.
Okay, so we have a lot of questions. We hope to answer them all, but we already have Minko Geshev with us now and the session. So we keep only 1 minute to answer the rest of the question, and then we go ahead with Minko.
Um, yeah, sorry, Abdul, you provided 1 minute, right?
Yes.
Okay, great, great. So there is a question on, can you show us real view and not debug view? Like, if, how can we pull the analytics to analyze it? I definitely can pull it. Okay, so yeah, I can show it to you. So it basically provides the view, the geographical view of one of the user in the real time. So basically, what is helpful is debug view more than real time view, because a real time view is just for the 30 minutes window. So whatever users were using your application in the last 30 minutes, you'll be able to view only those, and it mostly provides one snapshot of the user through the geographical, and that's just random. So it may not help you as much as the debug view will help you, because and the reports in the console will be available in like in some time, in 3 or 4 hours. So so if you want to view the data in real time, it will be a little bit hard, but it will be available in the Firebase console in some time. Okay. Yeah, it's a little bit hard, because I think there are things. Sorry. Yeah, so I think that's all.